Ezekiel 37-48 World English Bible. Chapter 37. Yahweh's hand was on me, and he brought me out in Yahweh's spirit, and set me down in the middle of the valley, and it was full of bones. He caused me to pass by them all around, and behold, there were very many on the surface of the valley, and behold, they were very dry. He said to me, Son of man, can these bones live? I answered, Lord Yahweh, you know. Again he said to me, Prophesy over these bones, and tell them, You dry bones, hear Yahweh's word. The Lord Yahweh says to these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you will live. I will lay sinews on you, and will bring up flesh on you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you will live. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. So I prophesied as I was commanded. As I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, there was an earthquake. Then the bones came together, bone to its bone. I saw, and, behold, there were sinews on them, and flesh came up, and skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then he said to me, Prophesy to the wind, prophesy, son of man, and tell the wind, the Lord Yahweh says, Come from the four winds, breath, and breathe on these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up on their feet, an exceedingly great army. Then he said to me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, Our bones are dried up, and our hope is lost. We are completely cut off. Therefore prophesy, and tell them, the Lord Yahweh says, Behold, I will open your graves, and cause you to come up out of your graves, my people, and I will bring you into the land of Israel. You will know that I am Yahweh, when I have opened your graves and caused you to come up out of your graves, my people. I will put my spirit in you, and you will live. Then I will place you in your own land, and you will know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, says Yahweh. Yahweh's word came again to me, saying, You, son of man, take one stick and write on it, for Judah, and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick, and write on it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions. Join them to one another into one stick, that they may become one in your hand. When the children of your people speak to you, saying, Won't you show us what you mean by these? Say to them, The Lord Yahweh says, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his companions, and I will put them with it, with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they will be one in my hand. The sticks on which you write will be in your hand before their eyes. Say to them, The Lord Yahweh says, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the nations where they have gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. I will make them one nation in the land, on the mountains of Israel. One king will be king to them all. They will no longer be two nations. They won't be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. They won't defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places in which they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So they will be my people, and I will be their God. My servant David will be king over them. They all will have one shepherd. They will also walk in my ordinances, and observe my statutes, and do them. They will dwell in the land that I have given to Jacob my servant, in which your fathers lived. They will dwell therein, they, and their children's children, forever. David my servant will be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It will be an everlasting covenant with them. I will place them, multiply them, and will set my sanctuary among them forevermore. My tent also will be with them. I will be their God, and they will be my people. The nations will know that I am Yahweh who sanctifies Israel, when my sanctuary is among them forevermore. Chapter 38. Yahweh's word came to me, saying, Son of man, set your face toward Gog, of the land of Magog, the prince of Rosh, Meshech, and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, The Lord Yahweh says, Behold, I am against you, Gog, prince of Rosh, Meshech, and Tubal. I will turn you around, and put hooks into your jaws, and I will bring you out, with all your army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed in full armor, a great company with buckler and shield, all of them handling swords, Persia, Cush, and put with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer, and all his hordes, the house of Togarmah in the uttermost parts of the north, and all his hordes, even many peoples with you. Be prepared, yes, prepare yourself, you, and all your companies who are assembled to you, and be a guard for them. After many days you will be visited. In the latter years you will come into the land that is brought back from the sword, that is gathered out of many peoples, on the mountains of Israel, which have been a continual waste, but it is brought out of the peoples, and they will dwell securely, all of them. You will ascend, you will come like a storm, you will be like a cloud to cover the land, you, and all your hordes, and many peoples with you. The Lord Yahweh says, It will happen in that day, that things will come into your mind, and you will devise an evil plan. You will say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to those who are at rest, who dwell securely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take the plunder and to take prey, to turn your hand against the waste places that are inhabited, and against the people who are gathered out of the nations, who have gotten livestock and goods, who dwell in the middle of the earth. Sheba, Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish, with all its young lions, will ask you, Have you come to take the plunder? Have you gathered your company to take the prey? To carry away silver and gold, to take away livestock and goods, to take great plunder? Therefore, son of man, prophesy, and tell Gog, the Lord Yahweh says, In the day when my people Israel dwell securely, won't you know it? You will come from your place out of the uttermost parts of the north, you, and many peoples with you, all of them riding on horses, a great company and a mighty army. You will come up against my people Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It will happen in the latter days, that I will bring you against my land, that the nations may know me, when I am sanctified in you, Gog, before their eyes. The Lord Yahweh says, Are you he of whom I spoke in ancient times by my servants the prophets of Israel, who prophesied in those days for years that I would bring you against them? It will happen in that day, when Gog comes against the land of Israel, says the Lord Yahweh, that my wrath will come up into my nostrils. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath I have spoken, surely in that day there will be a great shaking in the land of Israel, so that the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the animals of the field, all creeping things who creep on the earth, and all the men who are on the surface of the earth will shake at my presence. The mountains will be thrown down, the steep places will fall, and every wall will fall to the ground. I will call for a sword against him to all my mountains, says the Lord Yahweh. Every man's sword will be against his brother. I will enter into judgment with him with pestilence and with blood. I will rain on him, on his hordes, and on the many peoples who are with him, an overflowing shower, great hailstones, fire, and sulfur. I will magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will make myself known in the eyes of many nations. Then they will know that I am Yahweh. Chapter 39. You, son of man, prophesy against Gog, and say, The Lord Yahweh says, Behold, I am against you, Gog, prince of Rosh, Meshech, and Tubal. I will turn you around, and will lead you, and will cause you to come up from the uttermost parts of the north, and I will bring you onto the mountains of Israel. I will strike your bow out of your left hand, and will cause your arrows to fall out of your right hand. You will fall on the mountains of Israel, you, and all your hordes, and the peoples who are with you. I will give you to the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the animals of the field to be devoured. You will fall on the open field, for I have spoken it, says the Lord Yahweh. I will send a fire on Magog and on those who dwell securely in the islands. Then they will know that I am Yahweh. I will make my holy name known among my people Israel. I won't allow my holy name to be profaned any more. Then the nations will know that I am Yahweh, the Holy One in Israel. Behold, it comes, and it will be brought to pass, says the Lord Yahweh. This is the day of which I have spoken. Single quote. Those who dwell in the cities of Israel will go out and make fires of the weapons and burn them, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, the war clubs and the spears, and they shall make fires with them for 7 years, so that they will take no wood out of the field, and they will not cut down any out of the forests, for they will make fires with the weapons. They will plunder those who plundered them, and rob those who robbed them, says the Lord Yahweh. In that day I will give to Gog a place for burial in Israel, the valley of those who pass by on the east of the sea, and it will block those who pass by. They will bury Gog and all his multitude there, and they will call it the valley of Ham and Gog. The house of Israel will be burying them for 7 months, that they may cleanse the land. Yes, all the people of the land will bury them, and it will be to them a renown in the day that I will be glorified, says the Lord Yahweh. They will set apart men of continual employment who will pass through the land. Whoever passes through will set a marker when he sees a man's bone. Then those who pass through will bury it in the valley of Ham and Gog. The land will be cleansed. You, son of man, the Lord Yahweh says, speak to the birds of every sort, and to every animal of the field, assemble yourselves, and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice that I sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice on the mountains of Israel, that you may eat meat and drink blood. You shall eat the flesh of the mighty, and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bulls, all of them fatlings of Bashan. You shall eat fat until you are full, and drink blood until you are drunk, of my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you. You shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, says the Lord Yahweh. I will set my glory among the nations. All the nations will see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid on them. So the house of Israel will know that I am Yahweh their God, from that day and forward. The nations will know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me, and I hid my face from them, so I gave them into the hand of their adversaries, and they all fell by the sword. According to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions I did to them, and I hid my face from them. Therefore the Lord Yahweh says, now I will reverse the captivity of Jacob and have mercy on the whole house of Israel. I will be jealous for my holy name. They will bear their shame, and all their trespasses by which they have trespassed against me, when they dwell securely in their land, and nobody will make them afraid, when I have brought them back from the peoples, and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. They will know that I am Yahweh their God, in that I caused them to be led into captivity among the nations, and have gathered them to their own land, and I will leave none of them there any more. I won't hide my face from them any more, for I have poured out my spirit on the house of Israel, says the Lord Yahweh. Chapter 40. In the 25th year of our captivity, in the beginning of the year, in the 10th day of the month, in the 14th year after the city was struck, in the same day, Yahweh's hand was on me, and he brought me there. In the visions of God he brought me into the land of Israel, and set me down on a very high mountain, where there was, as it were, the frame of a city on the south. He brought me there, and, behold, there was a man whose appearance was like the appearance of bronze, with a line of flax in his hand and a measuring reed, and he stood in the gate. The man said to me, Son of man, see with your eyes, and hear with your ears, and set your heart on all that I will show you, for you are brought here so that I may show them to you. Declare all that you see to the house of Israel. Behold, there was a wall on the outside of the house all around, and in the man's hand a measuring reed 6 cubits long, of a cubit and a hand width each. So he measured the thickness of the building, 1 reed, and the height, 1 reed. Then he came to the gate which faces toward the east, and went up its steps. He measured the threshold of the gate, 1 reed wide, and the other threshold, 1 reed wide. Every lodge was 1 reed long and 1 reed wide. Between the lodges was 5 cubits. The threshold of the gate by the porch of the gate toward the house was 1 reed. He measured also the porch of the gate toward the house, 1 reed. Then he measured the gate from the roof of one lodge to the roof of the other, 25 cubits wide, door opposite door. He also made lodges, a cubit wide, on every side, and the lodges were 6 cubits on this side, and 6 cubits on that side. He measured the gate from the roof of the one lodge to the roof of the other, 25 cubits wide, door opposite door. He measured the width of the opening of the gate, 10 cubits, and the length of the gate, 13 cubits, and a border before the lodges, 1 cubit on this side, and a border, 1 cubit on that side, and the lodges, 6 cubits on this side, and 6 cubits on that side. He measured the gate from the roof of the one lodge to the roof of the other, 25 cubits wide, door opposite door. The lodges of the gate eastward were 3 on this side, and 3 on that side. They 3 were of 1 measure. The posts had 1 measure on this side and on that side. He measured the width of the opening of the gate, 10 cubits, and the length of the gate, 13 cubits, and a border before the lodges, 1 cubit on this side, and a border, 1 cubit on that side, and the lodges, 6 cubits on this side, and 6 cubits on that side. He measured the gate from the roof of the one lodge to the roof of the other, 25 cubits wide, door opposite door. He made also posts, 60 cubits, and the court reached to the posts, around the gate. From the forefront of the gate at the entrance to the forefront of the inner porch of the gate were 50 cubits. There were closed windows to the lodges, and to their posts within the gate all around, and likewise to the arches. Windows were around inward. Every lodge had palm trees, one on this side, and another on that side, on its posts. He brought me into the outer court. Behold, rooms and a pavement, made for the court all around. 30 rooms were on the pavement. The pavement was by the side of the gates, corresponding to the length of the gates, even the lower pavement. Then he measured the width from the forefront of the lower gate to the forefront of the inner court outside, 100 cubits, both on the east and on the north. He measured the length and width of the gate of the outer court which faces toward the north. Its length was 50 cubits, and the width 25 cubits. There were 3 lodges on this side, and 3 on that side. Its posts and its arches had the same measure as the first gate, its length was 50 cubits, and the width 25 cubits. There were windows in it and in its arches all around, like those windows, 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. There was a gate to the inner court over against the other gate, both on the north and on the east. He measured from gate to gate 100 cubits. He led me toward the south, and behold, there was a gate toward the south. He measured its posts and its arches with these measures. There were windows in it and in its arches all around, like those windows, the length was 50 cubits, and the width 25 cubits. There was a gate to the inner court toward the south. He measured from gate to gate toward the south 100 cubits. Then he brought me to the inner court by the south gate. He measured the south gate according to these measures, and the lodges of it, and its posts, and its arches, according to these measures. There were windows in it and in its arches all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. There were arches all around to the lodges. Its length was 25 cubits, and the width 25 cubits. There was a gate to the inner court toward the east. He measured according to these measures, and its lodges, and its posts, and its arches, according to these measures. There were windows in it and in its arches all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. Its lodges, its posts, and its arches had the same measures as the others, and there were windows in it and in its arches all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. There was a gate to the inner court toward the south. He measured from gate to gate toward the south 100 cubits. Then he brought me to the north gate, and he measured it according to these measures, its lodges, its posts, and its arches. It had windows in it all around. The length was 50 cubits and the width 25 cubits. Its posts were toward the outer court. Palm trees were on its posts on this side, and on that side, and its ascent had 8 steps. A gate was at the head of the inner court toward the east. He measured according to these measures. Its lodges, its posts, and its arches had the same measures as the others, and there were windows in it and in its arches all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. Its posts were toward the outer court. Palm trees were on its posts on this side, and on that side, and it had 8 steps. There was a room with its door by the posts at the gates. They washed the burnt offering there. In the porch of the gate were 2 tables on this side and 2 tables on that side, to kill the burnt offering and the sin offering and the trespass offering on them. There was a room at the side of the ascent, by the side of the posts which were at the gate. He brought me to the outer court. Behold, rooms were prepared in the outer court, by the side of the gate toward the north. He brought me to the room which was over against the separate place, and which was over against the building toward the north. Its length was 100 cubits, and the width 50 cubits. The building that was before the separate place at the side toward the west was 70 cubits wide, and the wall of the building was 5 cubits thick all around, and its length 90 cubits. Between the rooms was 20 cubits wide, all around the house on every side. The doors of the side rooms were toward the place that was left, one door toward the north, and another door toward the south. The width of the place that was left was 5 cubits all around. The building that was before the separate place at the side toward the west was 70 cubits, and the wall of the building was 5 cubits thick all around, and its length 90 cubits. So he measured the house, 100 cubits long, and the separate place, and the building, with its walls, 100 cubits long, also the width of the face of the house, and of the separate place toward the east, 100 cubits. He measured the length of the building before the separate place which was at its back, and its galleries on the one side and on the other side, 100 cubits, with the inner temple and the porches of the court, the thresholds, and the closed windows and the galleries around on their 3 stories, opposite the threshold, with wood ceilings all around, and from the ground up to the windows. Now the windows were covered, to the space above the door, even to the inner house, and outside. And on all the wall all around, inside and outside, by measure. It was made with cherubim and palm trees, and a palm tree was between cherub, and every cherub had 2 faces, so that there was the face of a man toward the palm tree on the one side, and the face of a young lion toward the palm tree on the other side. It was made like that through all the house all around, from the ground to above the door cherubim and palm trees were made. Thus was the wall of the temple. As for the temple, the doorposts were squared. As for the face of the sanctuary, its appearance was like the appearance of the temple. There were 2 doors to the temple and to the sanctuary. The doors had 2 turning leaves, 2 leaves for the one door, and 2 leaves for the other. Cherubim and palm trees were made on them, on the doors of the temple, like those made on the walls, and there was a threshold of wood on the face of the porch outside. There were closed windows and palm trees on the one side and on the other side, on the sides of the porch. This is how the side rooms of the house and the thresholds were arranged. Chapter 41. He brought me to the temple, and measured the posts, 6 cubits wide on the one side and 6 cubits wide on the other side, which was the width of the tent. The width of the entrance was 10 cubits, and the sides of the entrance were 5 cubits on the one side, and 5 cubits on the other side. He measured its length, 40 cubits, and the width, 20 cubits. Then he went inward and measured each post of the entrance, 2 cubits, and the entrance, 6 cubits, and the width of the entrance, 7 cubits. He measured its length, 20 cubits, and the width, 20 cubits, before the temple. He said to me, This is the most holy place. Then he measured the wall of the house, 6 cubits, and every side room, 4 cubits, all around the house on every side. The side rooms were in 3 stories, one over another, and 30 in order, and they entered into the wall which belonged to the house for the side rooms all around, that they might have hold therein, and not have hold in the wall of the house. The side rooms were wider and wider as they went higher and higher, for the side structure of the house went higher and higher all around. The width of the house continued upward, and so one went up from the lowest room to the highest by the middle. I saw also that the house had a raised base all around. The foundations of the side rooms were a full reed of 6 great cubits. The thickness of the wall, which was for the side rooms, on the outside, was 5 cubits. That which was left was the place of the side rooms that belonged to the house. Between the rooms was a width of 20 cubits all around the house on every side. The doors of the side rooms were toward the place that was left, one door toward the north, and another door toward the south. The width of the place that was left was 5 cubits all around. The building that was before the separate place at the side toward the west was 70 cubits wide, and the wall of the building was 5 cubits thick all around, and its length 90 cubits. So he measured the house, 100 cubits long, and the separate place, and the building, with its walls, 100 cubits long, also the width of the face of the house, and of the separate place toward the east, 100 cubits. He measured the length of the building before the separate place which was at its back, and its galleries on the one side and on the other side, 100 cubits, with the inner temple and the porches of the court, the thresholds, and the closed windows and the galleries around on their 3 stories, opposite the threshold, with wood ceilings all around, and from the ground up to the windows. Now the windows were covered, to the space above the door, even to the inner house, and outside. And on all the wall all around, inside and outside, by measure. It was made with cherubim and palm trees, and a palm tree was between cherub, and every cherub had 2 faces, so that there was the face of a man toward the palm tree on the one side, and the face of a young lion toward the palm tree on the other side. It was made like that through all the house all around, from the ground to above the door cherubim and palm trees were made. Thus was the wall of the temple. As for the temple, the doorposts were squared. As for the face of the sanctuary, its appearance was like the appearance of the temple. There were 2 doors to the temple and to the sanctuary. The doors had 2 turning leaves, 2 leaves for the one door, and 2 leaves for the other. Cherubim and palm trees were made on them, on the doors of the temple, like those made on the walls, and there was a threshold of wood on the face of the porch outside. There were closed windows and palm trees on the one side and on the other side, on the sides of the porch. This is how the side rooms of the house and the thresholds were arranged. Chapter 42. Then he brought me out into the outer court, the way toward the north. Then he brought me into the room that was opposite the separate place, and which was opposite the building toward the north. Its length was 100 cubits on the north door, and the width was 50 cubits. Opposite the 20 cubits that belonged to the inner court, and opposite the pavement that belonged to the outer court, was gallery opposite gallery in the 3 stories. Before the rooms was a walk of 10 cubits wide inward, a way of 1 cubit, and their doors were toward the north. Now the upper rooms were shorter, for the galleries took away from these more than from the lower and the middle in the building. For they were in 3 stories, and they didn't have pillars as the pillars of the courts. Therefore the uppermost room was shortened more than the lowest and the middle from the ground. The wall that was outside by the side of the rooms, toward the outer court before the rooms, its length was 50 cubits. For the length of the rooms that were in the outer court was 50 cubits. Behold, those facing the temple were 100 cubits. The door of the side rooms faced the way of the east, as one goes in. In the thickness of the wall of the court toward the east, before the separate place, and before the building, there were rooms. The way before them was like the appearance of the rooms that were toward the north. Their length and width were the same, and all their exits were according to their fashions. According to the doors of the rooms that were toward the south was a door at the head of the way, even the way directly before the wall toward the east, as one enters into them. Then he said to me, The north rooms and the south rooms, which are before the separate place, are the holy rooms, where the priests who approach to Yahweh will eat the most holy things. There the most holy things will be laid, with the meal offering, the sin offering, and the trespass offering, for the place is holy. When the priests enter in, then they shall not go out of the holy place into the outer court until they lay their garments in which they minister there, for they are holy. They shall put on other garments, and shall approach that which is for the people. Now when he had finished measuring the interior of the house, he brought me out toward the gate that faces toward the east, and measured it all around. He measured on the east side with the measuring reed 500 reeds, with the measuring reed all around. He measured on the north side 500 reeds with the measuring reed all around. He measured on the south side 500 reeds with the measuring reed. He turned about to the west side, and measured 500 reeds with the measuring reed. He measured it on the four sides. It had a wall around it, the length 500 reeds, and the width 500 reeds, to make a separation between that which was holy and that which was common. Chapter 43. Afterward he brought me to the gate, even the gate that faces toward the east. Behold, Yahweh's glory came from the way of the east. His voice was like the voice of many waters, and the earth shone with his glory. It was according to the appearance of the vision which I saw, even according to the vision that I saw when I came to destroy the city, and the visions were like the vision that I saw by the river Chebar, and I fell on my face. Yahweh's glory came into the house by the way of the gate which faces toward the east. The Spirit took me up, and brought me into the inner court, and behold, Yahweh's glory filled the house. I heard one speaking to me out of the house, and a man stood by me. He said to me, Son of man, this is the place of my throne, and the place of the soles of my feet, where I will dwell among the children of Israel forever. The house of Israel will no more defile my holy name, neither they, nor their kings, by their prostitution, and by the dead bodies of their kings in their high places, in their setting of their threshold by my threshold, and their doorpost beside my doorpost. There was a wall between me and them, and they have defiled my holy name by their abominations which they have committed. Therefore I have consumed them in my anger. Now let them put away their prostitution, and the dead bodies of their kings far from me. Then I will dwell among them forever. You, son of man, show the house to the house of Israel, that they may be ashamed of their iniquities, and let them measure the pattern. If they are ashamed of all that they have done, make known to them the form of the house, its fashion, its exits, and its entrances, and all its forms, and all its ordinances, and all its forms, and all its laws, and write it in their sight, that they may keep the whole form of it, and all its ordinances, and do them. This is the law of the house. On the top of the mountain the whole limit around it shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. These are the measurements of the altar by cubits. The cubit is a cubit, and a hand width its bottom shall be a cubit, and its width a cubit, and its border around its edge a span, and this shall be the base of the altar. From the bottom on the ground to the lower ledge shall be 2 cubits, and the width 1 cubit, and from the lesser ledge to the greater ledge shall be 4 cubits, and the width a cubit. The upper altar shall be 4 cubits, and from the altar hearth and upward there shall be 4 horns. The altar hearth shall be 12 cubits long by 12 wide, square in its 4 sides. The ledge shall be 14 cubits long by 14 wide in its 4 sides, and the border about it shall be half a cubit, and its bottom shall be a cubit around, and its steps shall look toward the east. He said to me, Son of man, the Lord Yahweh says, These are the ordinances for the altar in the day when they make it, to offer burnt offerings on it, and to sprinkle blood on it. You shall give to the Levitical priests who are of the offspring of Zadok, who are near to me, to minister to me, says the Lord Yahweh, a young bull for a sin offering. You shall take of its blood, and put it on its 4 horns, and on the 4 corners of the ledge, and on the border all around. You shall cleanse it and make atonement for it that way. You shall also take the bull of the sin offering, and it shall be burnt in the appointed place of the house, outside of the sanctuary. On the second day you shall offer a male goat without defect for a sin offering, and they shall cleanse the altar, as they cleansed it with the bull. When you have finished cleansing it, you shall offer a young bull without defect, and a ram out of the flock without defect. You shall bring them near to Yahweh, and the priests shall cast salt on them, and they shall offer them up for a burnt offering to Yahweh. 7 days you shall prepare every day a goat for a sin offering. They shall also prepare a young bull, and a ram out of the flock, without defect. 7 days shall they make atonement for the altar and purify it. So shall they consecrate it. When they have accomplished the days, it shall be that on the 8th day, and forward, the priests shall make your burnt offerings on the altar, and your peace offerings. Then I will accept you, says the Lord Yahweh. Chapter 44. Then he brought me back by the way of the gate of the outer court, which looks toward the east, and it was shut. Yahweh said to me, This gate shall be shut. It shall not be opened, neither shall any man enter in by it, for Yahweh, the God of Israel, has entered in by it. Therefore it shall be shut. As for the prince, he shall sit therein as prince to eat bread before Yahweh. He shall enter by the way of the porch of the gate, and shall go out by the same way. Then he brought me by the way of the north gate before the house, and I looked, and behold, Yahweh's glory filled Yahweh's house. I fell on my face. Yahweh said to me, Son of man, mark well, and see with your eyes, and hear with your ears all that I tell you concerning all the ordinances of Yahweh's house, and all its laws, and mark well the entrance of the house, with every exit of the sanctuary, and tell the rebellious, even to the house of Israel, the Lord Yahweh says, You have done enough of all your abominations, house of Israel, in that you have brought in foreigners, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, to be in my sanctuary, to profane it, even my house, when you offered my bread, the fat and the blood, and you have broken my covenant, to add to all your abominations. You have not performed the duty of my holy things, but you have set others to perform my duty in my sanctuary for yourselves. The Lord Yahweh says, No foreigner, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, shall enter into my sanctuary, of any foreigners who are among the children of Israel. But the Levites who went far from me, when Israel went astray, who went astray from me after their idols, they shall bear their iniquity. Yet they shall be ministers in my sanctuary, having oversight at the gates of the house, and ministering in the house. They shall kill the burnt offering and the sacrifice for the people, and they shall stand before them to minister to them. Because they ministered to them before their idols, and became a stumbling block of iniquity to the house of Israel, therefore I have lifted up my hand against them, says the Lord Yahweh, and they will bear their iniquity. They shall not come near to me, to execute the office of priest to me, nor come near to any of my holy things, to the things that are most holy, but they will bear their shame, and their abominations which they have committed. Yet I will make them keepers of the duty of the house, for all its service, and for all that shall be done therein. But the Levitical priests, the sons of Zadok, who kept the duty of my sanctuary when the children of Israel went astray from me, shall come near to me to minister to me. They shall stand before me to offer to me the fat and the blood, says the Lord Yahweh. They shall enter into my sanctuary, and they shall approach my table, to minister to me, and they shall keep my duty. It shall be that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments. No wool shall come on them while they minister in the gates of the inner court, and within. They shall have linen turbans on their heads, and shall have linen trousers on their waists. They shall not clothe themselves with anything that causes sweat. When they go out into the outer court, even into the outer court to the people, they shall put off their garments in which they minister, and lay them in the holy rooms. They shall put on other garments, that they not sanctify the people with their garments. They shall neither shave their heads, nor allow their locks to grow long, they shall only cut off the hair of their heads. Single quote. None of the priests shall drink wine when they enter into the inner court. They shall not take for a wife a woman who is a prostitute, or profane. They shall take virgins of the offspring of the house of Israel, or a widow who is the widow of a priest. They shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the common, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. Single quote. In a controversy they shall stand to judge. They shall judge it according to my ordinances. They shall keep my laws and my statutes in all my appointed feasts. They shall make my Sabbaths holy. They shall not come near to a dead person, to defile themselves, but for father, or for mother, or for son, or for daughter, for brother, or for sister who has had no husband, they may defile themselves. After he is cleansed, they shall reckon to him 7 days. In the day that he goes into the sanctuary, into the inner court, to minister in the sanctuary, he shall offer his sin offering, says the Lord Yahweh. It shall be to them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance, and you shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. They shall eat the meal offering, and the sin offering, and the trespass offering, and every devoted thing in Israel shall be theirs. The first of all the firstfruits of everything, and every offering of all that is offered to Yahweh, of all the best of them, shall be for the priest. You shall also give to the priests the first of your dough, to cause a blessing to rest on your house. The priest shall not eat of anything that dies of itself, or is torn, whether it is bird or animal. Chapter 45. Moreover, when you divide by lot the land for inheritance, you shall offer an offering to Yahweh, a holy portion of the land. The length shall be the length of 25,000 reeds, and the width 10,000. This shall be holy in all its border all around. Of this there shall be a portion for the prince. The length shall be 25,000 reeds, and the width 10,000. It shall be for the holy portion of the land and for the possession of the city, in front of the holy portion and in front of the possession of the city. The length shall be 25,000 reeds, and the width 10,000 reeds. The rest of the land shall be for the people of the land, for the possession of the house of Israel. The length shall be 25,000 reeds, and the width 10,000 reeds. The holy portion of the land shall be for the priests, the ministers of the sanctuary, who come near to minister to Yahweh. It shall be a place for their houses and a holy place for the sanctuary. The possession for the city shall be 5,000 reeds in length and 25,000 in width. The whole portion shall be 25,000 by 25,000. You shall offer it as a holy offering with the possession of the city. What is left over from the offering of the land shall be for the prince, on the one side and on the other side of the holy allotment and of the possession of the city, in front of the holy allotment and in front of the possession of the city, on the west side westward, and on the east side eastward, corresponding in length to one of the portions, from the west border to the east border. The length shall be alongside one of the portions, from the west border to the east border. This is for the prince. The holy allotment and the possession of the city shall be in its middle. It shall be between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin. These shall be the measures of the offering which you shall make. The length shall be 25,000 reeds, and the width 10,000. This is the offering that you shall make, the 6th part of an ephah from a homer of wheat, and you shall give the 6th part of an ephah from a homer of barley, and the set portion of oil, of the bath of oil, the 10th part of a bath out of the cor, which is 10 baths, or a homer, for 10 baths are a homer winky face, and 1 lamb of the flock out of 200, from the well-watered pastures of Israel, for a meal offering, and for a burnt offering, and for peace offerings, to make atonement for them. Says the Lord Yahweh. All the people of the land shall give to this offering for the prince in Israel. It shall be the prince's part to give the burnt offerings, the meal offerings, and the drink offerings, in the feasts, and on the new moons, and on the Sabbaths, in all the appointed feasts of the house of Israel. He shall prepare the sin offering, the meal offering, the burnt offering, and the peace offerings, to make atonement for the house of Israel. The Lord Yahweh says, in the first month, on the first day of the month, you shall take a young bull without defect, and you shall cleanse the sanctuary. The priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering, and put it on the doorposts of the house, and on the 4 corners of the ledge of the altar, and on the posts of the gate of the inner court. So you shall do on the 7th day of the month for everyone who errs, and for him who is simple. So you shall make atonement for the house. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, you shall have the Passover, a feast of 7 days, unleavened bread shall be eaten. On that day the prince shall prepare for himself and for all the people of the land a bull for a sin offering. The 7 days of the feast he shall prepare a burnt offering to Yahweh, 7 bulls and 7 rams without defect daily the 7 days, and a male goat daily shall be prepared for a sin offering. He shall prepare a meal offering, an ephah for a bull, and an ephah for a ram, and a hin of oil to an ephah. In the 7th month, on the 15th day of the month, in the feast, he shall prepare according to these things, 7 days, the sin offering, the burnt offering, the meal offering, and the oil. Chapter 46. The Lord Yahweh says, the gate of the inner court that looks toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath day it shall be opened, and on the day of the new moon it shall be opened. The prince shall enter by the way of the porch of the gate outside, and shall stand by the post of the gate, and the priest shall prepare his burnt offering and his peace offerings, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate. Then he shall go out, but the gate shall not be shut until the evening. The people of the land shall worship at the door of that gate before Yahweh on the Sabbaths and on the new moons. The burnt offering that the prince shall offer to Yahweh shall be on the Sabbath day 6 lambs without defect and a ram without defect, and the meal offering shall be an ephah for the ram, and the meal offering for the lambs as he is able to give, and a hin of oil to an ephah. On the day of the new moon it shall be a young bull without defect, and 6 lambs, and a ram, which shall be without defect, and he shall prepare a meal offering, an ephah for the bull, and an ephah for the ram, and for the lambs according as he is able, and a hin of oil to an ephah. When the prince enters, he shall go in by the way of the porch of the gate, and he shall go out by the same way. But when the people of the land shall come before Yahweh in the appointed feasts, he who enters by the way of the north gate to worship shall go out by the way of the south gate, and he who enters by the way of the south gate shall go out by the way of the north gate. He shall not return by the way of the gate by which he came in, but shall go out straight before him. The prince, when he goes in, shall go in by the way of the porch of the gate, and he shall go out by the same way. When the prince prepares a freewill offering, a burnt offering or peace offerings to Yahweh voluntarily, on the Sabbath day, then the gate that looks toward the east shall be opened for him, and he shall prepare his burnt offering and his peace offerings, as he does on the Sabbath day. Then he shall go out, and after his going out the gate shall be shut. You shall prepare a lamb a year old without defect for a burnt offering to Yahweh daily. You shall prepare it every morning. You shall prepare a meal offering with it every morning, the 6th part of an ephah, and the 3rd part of a hin of oil, to moisten the fine flour, a meal offering to Yahweh continually by perpetual ordinance. Thus they shall prepare the lamb, the meal offering, and the oil, every morning, for a continual burnt offering. The Lord Yahweh says, if the prince gives a gift to any of his sons, it is his inheritance. It shall belong to his sons. It is their possession by inheritance. But if he gives of his inheritance a gift to one of his servants, it shall be his to the year of liberty, then it shall return to the prince, but as for his inheritance, it shall be for his sons. The prince shall not take of the people's inheritance, to thrust them out of their possession, he shall give his son's inheritance out of his own possession, that my people not each be scattered from his possession. Then he brought me through the entry which was at the side of the gate, into the holy rooms for the priests, which looked toward the north. Behold, there was a place at the back of them toward the west. He said to me, this is the place where the priests shall boil the trespass offering and the sin offering, and where they shall bake the meal offering, that they not bring them out into the outer court, to sanctify the people. Then he brought me out into the outer court, and caused me to pass by the 4 corners of the court, and behold, in every corner of the court there was a court. In the 4 corners of the court there were courts enclosed, 40 cubits long and 30 wide. These 4 in the corners were the same size. There was a wall around in them, around the 4, and boiling places were made under the walls all around. Then he said to me, these are the boiling houses, where the ministers of the house shall boil the sacrifice of the people. Chapter 47. He brought me back to the door of the house, and behold, waters flowed out from under the threshold of the house eastward, for the forefront of the house faced toward the east winky face, and the waters came down from under, from the right side of the house, on the south of the altar. Then he brought me out by the way of the gate northward, and led me around by the way outside to the outer gate, by the way which faces toward the east. Behold, there ran out waters on the right side. When the man went out eastward with the line in his hand, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he caused me to pass through the waters, waters that were to the ankles. Again he measured 1,000, and caused me to pass through the waters, waters that were to the knees. Again he measured 1,000, and caused me to pass through the waters, waters that were to the waist. Again he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass through, for the waters had risen, waters to swim in, a river that could not be passed through. He said to me, Son of man, have you seen this? Then he brought me, and caused me to return to the bank of the river. Now when I had returned, behold, on the bank of the river were very many trees on the one side and on the other. Then he said to me, These waters flow out toward the eastern region, and will go down into the Arabah. Then they will go toward the sea and flow into the sea which will be made to flow out, and the waters will be healed. It will happen that every living creature which swarms, in every place where the rivers come, will live. There will be a very great multitude of fish, for these waters have come there, and the waters will be healed, and everything will live wherever the river comes. It will happen that fishermen will stand by it. From En-Gedi even to En-Eglaim will be a place for the spreading of nets. Their fish will be after their kinds, as the fish of the great sea, exceedingly many. But the miry places of it, and its marshes, will not be healed. They will be given up to salt. By the river bank, on both sides, will grow every tree used for food, whose leaf won't wither, neither will its fruit fail. It will produce new fruit every month, because its waters issue out of the sanctuary. Its fruit will be for food, and its leaf for healing. The Lord Yahweh says, This shall be the border, by which you shall divide the land for inheritance according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph shall have 2 portions. You shall divide it by lot for an inheritance to you and to the aliens who live among you, who will father children among you. Then they shall be to you as the native born among the children of Israel. They shall have inheritance with you among the tribes of Israel. It shall happen that in whatever tribe the stranger lives, there you shall give him his inheritance, says the Lord Yahweh. Chapter 48. Now these are the names of the tribes, from the north end, beside the way of Hethlon to the entrance of Hamath, Hazar and An at the border of Damascus, northward beside Hamath, and they shall have their sides east and west, Dan, 1 portion. By the border of Dan, from the east side to the west side, Asher, 1 portion. By the border of Asher, from the east side even to the west side, Naphtali, 1 portion. By the border of Naphtali, from the east side to the west side, Manasseh, 1 portion. By the border of Manasseh, from the east side to the west side, Ephraim, 1 portion. By the border of Ephraim, from the east side even to the west side, Reuben, 1 portion. By the border of Reuben, from the east side to the west side, Judah, 1 portion. By the border of Judah, from the east side to the west side, shall be the offering which you shall offer, 25,000 reeds in width, and in length as one of the portions, from the east side to the west side. The sanctuary shall be in the middle of it. The offering that you shall offer to Yahweh shall be 25,000 reeds in length, and 10,000 in width. Of this offering the holy portion shall be for the priests, the north 25,000, and toward the west 10,000 in width, and toward the east 10,000 in width, and toward the south 25,000 in length. The sanctuary of Yahweh shall be in its middle. It shall be for the priests who are sanctified, of the sons of Zadok, who have kept my charge, who didn't go astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. It shall be to them an offering from the offering of the land, a most holy thing, by the border of the Levites. Answerable to the border of the priests, the Levites shall have 25,000 in length, and 10,000 in width. All the length shall be 25,000, and the width 10,000. They shall sell none of it, nor exchange, nor cause the firstfruits of the land to pass away, for it is holy to Yahweh. The 5,000 that are left in the width, in front of the 25,000, shall be for common use, for the city, for dwelling, and for pasture lands. The city shall be in the middle of it. These shall be its measurements, the north side 4,500, and the south side 4,500, and on the east side 4,500, and the west side 4,500. The city shall have pasture lands, toward the north 250, and toward the south 250, and toward the east 250, and toward the west 250. The remainder in the length, alongside the holy offering, shall be 10,000 eastward, and 10,000 westward, and it shall be alongside the holy offering. Its increase shall be for food to those who labor in the city. Those who labor in the city, out of all the tribes of Israel, shall cultivate it. All the offering shall be a quarter of a reed to 25,000 by 25,000. You shall offer it as a holy offering, with the possession of the city. What is left over from the offering of the land shall be for the prince, on the one side and on the other side of the holy allotment and of the possession of the city, in front of the holy allotment and in front of the possession of the city, on the west side westward, and on the east side eastward, corresponding in length to one of the portions, from the west border to the east border. The length shall be alongside one of the portions, from the west border to the east border. This is for the prince. The holy allotment and the possession of the city shall be in its middle. It shall be between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin. These shall be the exits of the city, on the north side, 4,500 reeds by measure, and the gates of the city shall be named after the tribes of Israel, 3 gates northward, the gate of Reuben, 1, the gate of Judah, 1, the gate of Levi, 1. At the east side 4,500 reeds, and 3 gates, even the gate of Joseph, 1, the gate of Benjamin, 1, the gate of Dan, 1. At the south side 4,500 reeds by measure, and 3 gates, the gate of Simeon, 1, the gate of Issachar, 1, the gate of Zebulun, 1. At the west side 4,500 reeds, with their 3 gates, the gate of Gad, 1, the gate of Asher, 1, the gate of Naphtali, 1. It shall be 18,000 reeds around, and the name of the city from that day shall be, Yahweh is there.